coup against Mig Zubiri, not to mention na ano pa si Jonathan Morales. Now, so I think it's very important na balikan natin ito si Riza Ontiveros because she's making it absolutely clear na wag niyong gamitin itong, well, it's a legitimate concern, itong xenophobia, racism and all. Of course, we have to fight back against it. Kaya nga sabi ko, mahalaga na may mga Chinoy tayong kababayan, katulad ni Senator Gatchalian, who are very much on top of this. At kung titingnan niyo yung mga ginagawa ni Senator Gatchalian, di ba? Ano sabi niya, anong ad hominem dyan? Na convicted siya? Actually, wala. Pero mukhang bawal na i-point out yung mga ganitong bagay-bagay. But anyway, balikan natin ito. No, I mean, Senator Rizal Ontiveros is saying na wag nyo i-weaponize itong diskurso ng xenophobia. Because while it's true na may racism, may problems like that, all countries have that problem, by the way, hindi pwede i-shutdown mo a legitimate national security concern, di ba? Para siyang nung panahon ng pandemic, di ba? Every time na may tanong about Wuhan or yung origins ng COVID, ang sasabihin ng China, oh, you're being racist, you're being this, and that, to shut down the conversation. Now, hindi ko sinasabi na hindi racist si Trump. Yung mga sinasabi ni Trump, yung mga ibang tao dyan, ay medyo para sa akin, mali talaga. At unfortunately, there was an explosion of anti-Asian racism and hate crimes nung panahon ni Trump at saka pandemic. But at the same time, that doesn't mean na hindi tayo pwede magtanong ng legitimate questions on the origins of COVID-19. Ayan na, baka mag-overheat na naman yung TikTok natin. So, my question here is, ano dapat gagawin natin? Hindi na lang natin i-mention na may problema talaga tayo na maraming illegal na pumapasok na potentially involved sa espionage or potentially involved sa surveillance or potentially involved sa crime or all of the above at the same time. Alam nga naman, no, we cannot not do that. Pero nga, kaya nga hindi ako natuwa. Tama naman yung sinasabi yung iba. Yung mga ibang tanong, nakikisakay na. Kung wala kang tanong na substantial, yung tanong mo lang sinong boyfriend yung ganyan, wag na lang. Diba? So, yeah, nakikisaw-saw. Tama yung sinasabi mo. I mean, okay naman nakikisaw-saw kung medyo may added value ka. Pero yung, diba, epal. I think the term is epal. But even worse than that. So, ito yung sinabi ni Senator Rizal Ontiveros. I appreciate. Dapat ganon, di ba? Dapat ganon. Huwag kang pa-woke pa yung... Ito pa, yung mga pro-China pa, pro-Beijing, mga pro-authoritarian system, sila pa yung mga pa-woke ngayon na pa-political correct pa sila. Again, tama. I mean, sinabi ni Senator Rizal Ontiveros, huwag natin din kalimutan na ang POGO sa munisipalidad ni Mayor ay may di umanong hacking at surveillance activities. Considering China's aggressive influence operations around the world, it would be remiss of the Senate not to look into this angle. As the good senator, mabuting Senator Cynthia Villar said, di ba, pababa tayo, di ba? Siyempre, alangan din natin titignan kung something fishy really is going on. Marami pang gustong ibunyag ang ilang government agency tungkol sa POGOs na kanilang gagawin sa executive session bago ang susunod na public hearing. So, of course, for those who are not familiar with it, an executive session is off the record. So, ang nakikita po lang natin dito is yung on the record public hearings. Pero at the same time, there are executive sessions kung saan may mga representatives ng mga iba't ibang ahensya at sila po ay nagsishare ng confidential information and there is coordination on possible filing of criminal charges or some decisive action on this front. Sa gitna ng lahat ito, inuulit ko na ang paalala ko na hindi kailanman magiging katanggap-tanggap ang racism, xenophobia at xenophobia. Regardless of our heritage, all law-abiding citizens should not be the subject of hate and discrimination. Exactly. This is not a witch hunt. This is not about politics. It's about national security, criminal activities, accountability in public service, the rights and welfare of women and children, and the structural failure of our system to regulate POGO as a business model. O yan, sabi niya, choppy na yung audio ka yan. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello? Ayan na. Nagkakaalaman na. Ayan, mas okay ba yung audio natin? So, ito yung sinasabi natin mga kababayan. No? On one hand, tama naman. Dapat walang racism, xenophobia. Tama naman. Sana hindi nakikisawsaw yung mga senador dyan. Lalo na kung, alam niyo na, hindi natin kailangan sabihin. Huwag magtanong ng mga extraneous questions or irrelevant questions or yung mga questions that undercut the seriousness of the discussion. But at the same time, guys, hindi naman tayo pwede maging syunga. Di ba? Hindi naman tayo pwede na hayaan natin na gagamitin ng iba as an excuse yun para hindi natin i-scrutinize yung talaga yung mga pangyayari sa ating bansa. Especially when there's a preponderance of evidence, guys, na something seriously wrong is going on sa ating bansa. Right? Something very, very serious is going on. So, tingnan natin ito, guys. Okay? Now, while we're waiting for what's happening dito sa Senate hearings, because I really hope to see developments on banning of the POGOs and then also revelations about whether may entwinement ang POGOs and espionage and surveillance activities. But I want to also get to know kung magkakaroon ng follow-through dun sa mga enablers. Alright? It's important to find out sinong ang mga taong tumulong sa mga ganito, mga POGO na to, or sa mga questionable mayor na naging mayor na baka naman hindi dapat naging mayor, right? So we have to look at a whole set of people who have enabled this crazy situation that we're looking at. All right? Now, having said that, I think we're all very much encouraged, no? You're very much encouraged. Oh, tama yan, palusot ng mga ibang ano yan. Kunyari lang palusot lang nila yan. Now, going back to this, guys, as encouraging as the case of Riza Ontiveros is, as encouraging as what people like Sherwin Gatchalian are doing, I was very glad to also see this morning, because let's be honest, we haven't heard from this gentleman for quite some time. Ito si Mayor Vico Soto, diba? We haven't heard from him for quite some time. Let's not forget, he was part of that wave. Si Isko Moreno, mahabang usapan yan, things went wayward, right? I don't know what next is gonna do, but when it comes to Vico Soto, he has been very quiet. He has barely given any interviews. Sinasabi pa ng iba dyan ay medyo suplado daw or whatever. We made multiple efforts to make sure we can arrange an interview with him. Mukhang talagang he wants some sort of media blackout for now. So okay, respect. Okay. So actually for a moment, medyo nakalimutan natin si Vico Soto na wala siya sa ating imahinasyon. I mean, not in my, I'm talking about public discourse, obviously. So, kanina when I was looking at some of the news, and in fact, these are news sites that I'm not even familiar with, kanina ko lang nakita. At interestingly, meron siyang speech kanina, and I think, very good speech. And ang konteksto ng speech niya was itong new City Hall project na meron sila na I think 9 billion pesos. So, malaking proyekto yan, mga kameta. I actually went to the City Hall last year, was hoping to interview him, pero Saturday ako nag-drop by so walang katao-tao. Yun lang yung time ko na medyo free. Actually last year pa yata yun kasi nagtuturo na tayo sa Saturdays. So, wala siya in all of that. And I realized, okay, this guy is very busy. And this guy wants to keep away from all of the toxicity and polarization and partisanship. In fact, as you know, also itong tao na to ay also resigned dun sa isang political party, etc. So he's really on his own right now and 100% focus siya ngayon sa project niya sa Pasig, no? And actually I was glad na itong algorithm ko showed a footage of his speech, and very important good speech that he gave. Please correct me if so ito yung news site na chinek ko siya. And actually, Bravo News. All right. Sachet News Online. All right. I don't know, 57 ang followers nila dito sa Twitter or whatever. So it's not necessarily a mainstream one, but I'm glad that they covered LGU related news. And in particular dito yung speech ni Senator. Oh well, you never know, right? Kasi Soto, di ba? Si Tito Soto kasi naalala ko pag senador, di ba? Ito si Mayor Vico Soto. And of course, when it comes to Mayor Vico Soto, I've heard many good things about him from other mayors, from other senators, from other people who know him. And if you remember yung dun sa isang meta episode natin with Leloy Claudio, sinabi ni Leloy na sa kanyang pagkaalam, this is a guy who's reading about the legacy of his great-grandfather, the first Senator Soto, who was really, really one of the great statesmen of the 20th century as far as the Philippine history at least is concerned. Diba? So, practically everyone I talk to na even definitely off the record, they would still say this guy is really something special. right? Again, this is politics. You never know, whatever. Okay, so I don't want to, hype things up. There's no need even to hype this person. So anyway, so I went to the City Hall. I saw a little bit of yung mga big projects. Dun sa elevator, pag akyat mo dun sa top floor, papunta sa office ni Mayor, makikita mo talaga yung lawak ng proyekto nila. So obviously, alam niyo naman sa pagkaalam ko, he wants to stay for one more term. So kung yung iba sa inyo umaasa na mag-national politics siya or at the very least Senate siya, we're looking at 2028. And he will not be in an age to run for presidency by then, by the way. So bata pa yan, bata pa. So he's gonna stay one more term. So obviously that means na yung mga kalaban niya, hindi natin kailangan sabihin sino mga to, yung mga natanggal nila, yung mga alam mo na, 'di ba? Ay gumagawa ng kwento, 'di ba? Gumagawa ng kwento-kwento ukol dito sa kanyang City Hall, new City Hall, urban revitalization project. It's very big one. I mean, his city is a very very nice, very cozy city. So this is a really big project if you look at it. So in fairness to the guy, ito yung nagets ni Vico Sotto na at the end of the day, hindi pwede hanggang good governance ka lang. Good governance is important. Maganda na hindi ka magnanakaw, maganda na hindi ka corrupt, maganda na lumalaban ka sa corruption. Pero aminin natin, mas hinahanap pa ng tao, especially sa mga mahihirap na bansa or sa mga umuunlad pa lang na bansa, yung mga developing, hindi pa developed, hindi maunlad, yung umuunlad pa lang. Mahalaga na meron kang mga infrastructure projects, meron kang concrete projects, literally concrete projects. Dahil yun ang hinahanap ng tao. Para maganda, okay, hindi ka corrupt, okay, maganda yan. Pero anong ulit ang ginawa mo? Anong ulit yung legacy mo? And so this guy is very smart. He realized you really need to leave behind literal concrete projects. That's a way to make a legacy, but also that's a way to make good governance work over the long run, right? Of course, ang tanong sa akin is once tapos na siya sa mayoral niya at gusto niya mag-national office, sino naman i-promote niya? Sinong next in line? Is there a particular counselor or someone like else? Kasi otherwise, baka bumalik na yung mga alam niya na, di ba? Mga dynasties yan and all. Di ba? Now, the reason why I like itong speech ni Vico Sotto in particular is look at his tone, look at how he responds dun sa mga haters and mga trolls and trapos. And then at the same time, look at the level of confidence and mastery of details he's showing while also projecting humility na don't expect him to know every single details, engineering, civil engineering details and all. But nevertheless, I think he gives us some good idea about how you should fight for your convictions, fight for your position in office, fight against the bad people, and do it in a dignified, statesman-like way. All right, and I'm saying it as someone na medyo minsan nakikibardagulan din tayo, etc. But di kasi ako naniniwala na pwede kang mabait lang eh. You really have to fight back. But at the same time, I'm glad to see once in a while you have very statesman-like ways of pushing back. And in this case, from someone who's actually even younger than me, right?
Na rin yung temporary City Hall natin sa ating mga staff, lalo na sa mga department heads, talagang konting tiis, konting pasensya lang. Yung paglilipatan natin, hindi ganun kalaki ang mga espasyo para sa mga opisina natin. Talagang konting sakripisyo. Pero siniguro naman natin na magiging sapat ang mga espasyo natin. Marami tayong iiwan dito, gaya ng services para sa OSCA, gaya ng services ng SWAC. Mag-iiwan po tayo dito para continuous yung sa health. Mag-iiwan din tayo dito yung mga laboratory to ensure a continuous flow of services. Pero dun po pagdating sa bidding mismo, medyo malaki yung kontrata. Diba yung approved budget of the contract ay nasa humigit kumulang 9.6 billion pesos.
Medyo malaki.
Pero dalawang paglilinaw lang po kasi alam nyo naman, pag may ganyang kalaking kontrata, hindi may iwasan, may iba na magkakamali sa pag-unawa o yung iba sadyang gumagawa lang ng kwento.
Diba? So, ganda, diba?
Dalawang paglilinaw lang. Una, yung 9.6 billion ay approved budget of the contract. Hindi po yan contract price. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung mabubuksan na bid na qualified at pinakamababa, ah, malamang bababa pa yung presyo. Ano? Hindi natin alam kung hanggang saan, pero sigurado bababa pa yung presyo. Pangalawang paglilinaw po, yung 9.6 billion pesos na yan, tayo very transparent tayo, no, na nakabuklat lahat. Ika nga, hindi lang po yan building. No, so kung sabihin mo building, masyado mahal yan kung building lang. Hindi po yan building lamang. Kasama po sa 9.6 billion yung site development. Kasama po dyan yung provisions for IT. Hindi lang po fiber optic, kundi provisions for future technology. May mga espasyo, may mga provisions po para dyan. Kasama po dyan yung site development. Kasama po dyan yung open spaces including roadlots. Kasama po dyan yung open spaces including green spaces na hindi lang po isang floor kundi meron din pati sa itaas. Kasama dyan yung evacuation site or evacuation areas. Kasama dyan yung walkway na nasa labas ng building. Na sa totoo, pag binilang po ninyo, yung floor area na magiging gusali mismo ng City Hall building, nasa
Yan, nakita ko yung parts na yan.
46,000 square meters. Sobrang laki po ng gagawin natin. 46,000 square meters. Floor area pa lang po ito ng para sa mga opisina. At kasama syempre mga hallway, etc. Pero kasama rin po sa 9.6 billion na approved budget of the contract ay yung mga open spaces, yung corridor po na gagawin natin dito na matatanaw nyo hanggang revolving tower mula dito kung saan tayo nakatayo ngayon. Muli po yung mga evacuation, ganyan, na more or less nasa 20,000 square meters din po yun. So muli po, hindi lang po building yung magiging contract price natin na muli din po, hindi pa po final yan. So every step of the way, naghahanda din ako ng isang general briefer na pwede basahin ng kahit na sino. Na rin yung temporary City Hall natin sa ating mga staff, lalo na sa mga department heads. Talagang konting tiis, konting pasensya lang. Yung paglilipatan natin, hindi ganun kalaki ang mga espasyo para sa mga opisina natin. Talagang konting sakripisyo. Pero siniguro naman natin na magiging sapat ang mga espasyo natin. Marami tayong iiwan dito, gaya ng services para sa OSCA, gaya ng services ng SWAC. Mag-iiwan po tayo dito para continuous. Yung sa health, mag-iiwan din tayo dito. Yung mga laboratory to ensure a continuous flow of services. Pero dun po pagdating sa bidding mismo, medyo malaki yung kontrata. Diba? Yung approved budget of the contract ay nasa humigit kumulang 9.6 billion pesos. Pero dalawang
you see what's going on here, right, guys? Simple, walang drama, no exaggeration, walang pa-cute, walang sinasabi na ako na lang huling baraha, na ako nang liligtas ng bansa, na magiging narco state tayo, na bagong lipunan, na maharlika na golden age, na tayo lang daan matuwid, na tayo lang walang drama, nothing. Simple lang. Just sit there or stand there in this case. Matangkat ng tao to, siguro kahit nakaupo, mataas pa. And just explain to the PO. Explain mo lang. Ito po. Yung sinasabi nila ganito po. Andito po yung plano. Ito po yung mga gagawin natin. Explain mo sa tao. Walang drama. Hindi bastos. Hindi mayabang. Hindi self-promoting. Actually, hindi rin boring. Right? Makikinig ka lang sa kanya. Diba? Parang, yeah. O nga, no? Tapos i-explain niya yung mga different parts. Ganon, diba? Statesman-like, simple, straight to the point. Right? Statesman-like, simple, straight to the point. Walang drama, trabaho, pero hindi rin mayabang in a sense. Tanong man lang yung staff ko, or basahin nyo lang ito. So, while sinabi niya meron mga general explainers ganito, in-explain pa rin niya. So, nirespeto niya yung taong bayan. You see, he shows respect dun sa mga residents. That's what leadership is all about. Na ipakita mo sa tao na since silang naglagay, yung mandato may galing sa kanila, talagang meron kang obligasyon na mag-explain sa kanila. Hindi ibig sabihin na nanalo ka ng election, bahala kayo sa buhay nyo, ako na yung boss nyo. It doesn't work that way. At yun yung pinaka-annoying yung panahon ni Digong at saka yung panahon ng ibang leaders, na they were acting as if sila yung may-ari ng bansa. Tapos yung mga followers nila, para naman mga kulto style, pakinggan na natin dahil ganyan. Hindi eh. Ano yan? Anti 12th century medieval. Yan gusto niya, punta kayo North Korea para all the way, dear leader na kayo, di ba? This is a modern republic. This is a modern democracy. At dito, magpapakita ka dapat ng respeto sa taong bayan. I-explain mo. At mahalaga na hindi katulad ng iba, or hindi nila i-explain mo in a way na, malaman ng tao na alam mo yung pinaggagawa mo. Di ba? Dahil makikita mo sa explanation na itong tao na ito, pinag-aralan niya talaga yung ginagawa niya. Nag-update siya dun sa mga developments. Tinignan niya conscientiously, no? Bakit ganito yung gastos? Ano ang kailangan? Anong pwedeng adjustments na mangyari? Tapos respectful ka sa tao. I-explain mo sa kanila in the best. Good communicator. Conscientious communicator. Yun ang nakikita natin kay Vico Soto. So, I wish the best for the guy. I mean, I think he has done the right thing from keeping away from all the toxicity and media and all of that. From all of us, for that matter. Good. Go there and do your job, man. Do your job and good luck to you. And I hope na tuloy-tuloy lang yan. But more importantly, in the same way na sinabi ko, sana itong mga hearings kay Alice ko ay hindi lang one-off and ito na. And I hope na si Vico Soto, of course, tuloy-tuloy yung kanyang public service sa ating bansa in different capacities, hopefully pataas at pataas as he becomes more mature, as he becomes more established and more comfortable sa public service. Pangalawa, mas mahalaga pa to. Sana mag-groom siya ng next generation of leaders, kung sino man ang councilor or vice mayor dyan sa Pasig na sa tingin niya will be best to continue yung kanyang good governance, effective governance. Sana tuloy-tuloy lang yan kasi ang malungkot po is yung tipong meron kang sobrang galing na mayor tapos nung nawala na siya, back to business na naman, back to usual business. Sana hindi ganon, diba? So I really hope that he's mentoring, right? And mentoring his successors and nurturing and movement for good governance sa kanyang syudad, no? And I also say the same thing with Mayor Magalong or other more stellar and more encouraging mayors and LGU leaders. Please make sure na hindi naman kayo dyan forever. At dapat hindi kayo talaga forever. Sana hindi kayo dyan forever in the sense that, you have to give chance to others and dapat continuous effort ito. You build the party, you build the movement. But pangatlo, and I think even more importantly, I hope ma-inspire din yung mga next generation of leaders, yung mga kabataan, yung mga tao na, kasi isa sa worry ko dito is marami sa mga Gen Z at sa mga younger na kaubayan natin, they just gave up on our politics. Marami din yung na-involved doon sa pink movement and then they saw everything that happened during elections and after. Parang nag-switch off na sila eh. I mean, we could even see that on social media. Like our engagements would go from, there were times na almost 10,000 live ang nanonood sa atin, di ba? Ngayon kahit 1,000 lang, may tuwan-tuwa na tayo, di ba? You could see people just switched off, di ba? Because I cannot blame them dahil nawala ng pag-asa, nasaktan, na PTSD dahil sa nangyari sa unit team na nanalo, ganun. Or yung walang follow-through ng opposition, yung parang, na nakaleche-leche. You get what I'm saying? So, for me, it's important you have people like that there once in a while to remind you that don't give up on the Philippines. Don't give up on our leadership because as much as you have, yung mga echosera lang dyan or mga convicted dyan or mga ganun, meron ka rin mga taong ganito, no? Who actually prefer to work quietly, almost in the shadows, but they're doing the right thing for their country. So, para sa akin naman, tama yung ginagawa ni Vico na he's keeping away. But at the same time, I hope his example, whether to the whispers, whether through etong mga ginagawa natin vlogs, whether through people who come to see what he's doing, and hopefully one day when he pushes for a higher office, when he explains about what he achieved, because eventually he has to, sana ma-inspire yung mga ibang next generation of leaders. Mga taong katulad na in their 30s or people are 40s, and then yung up and coming, mga 20s, because yun yung worry ko na magkakaroon lang tayo ng isolated cases of success, mga silos and ganon. And then, but overall, yung mga na naman yung mga leaders, sayang. Because I think, whether it's Riza Ontiveros in the Senate or it's Vico Soto in the LGU level, they're showing us what the Philippines could have been and could become, right? In the future, right? Imagine if lahat ng leaders natin ay ganito. Okay, sige, wag lahat. Imagine if 60% at least ng leaders natin ay ganito. You would have imagined, I mean, you can easily imagine na ang ganda siguro ng mga kalsada, ang ganda ng mga infrastruktura, napaka-konting corruption, halos wala. You could imagine na well distributed yung resources ng bansa, inequality is quite low. So, I mean, Vietnam is a communist country, right? So obviously we can have some serious concerns about their human rights, political system, etc. But one thing I noticed in Vietnam is magkasing level lang tayo ng development in terms of per capita income at least. And yet, sobrang konting nakita kong mahirap sa Vietnam. So, marami ko nakita na medyo lower middle class, working class, okay. Pero yung mahirap na mahirap, sobrang wala akong nakita halos. Even dun sa mga probinsya, ay lumabas ako ng city, Danang, whatever. Ganda ng kalsada, walang inequality masyado, very well distributed. So, even if hindi mayaman ng Vietnam, dahil well distributed yung wealth, nakikita mo yung bawat tao, they live a well more dignified life. At yung mga mayayaman nila, well, at least until recently na medyo nakikita natin, yung mga mayaman nila hindi katulad ng mga mayaman natin dito na talaga parang hari-harian na sila and all of that. Okay, so I don't know, I mean, it's just good. Once in a while, I'm glad that, I got to see that video. So thank you very much, dun sa mga nag-post ng mga. I hope to see more of this, and I'm always more than happy to share the message, the good message. Because as much as andito tayo para pagtawanan yung mga kalokohan ng mga politiko, mga echosera, mga marites, ganun. Because, I mean, what are we gonna do, right? I mean, dark humor is the best we got, right? So sorry na lang dun sa mga iba kung nakornyan kayo sa akin or whatever. I mean, kung ganito yung kalidad ng mga leaders ng iba, anong bang gagawin ko? Iyak tayo. Hindi tayo iyak. May mga mas importante tayong pwedeng gawin, di ba? But at the same time, it's good to remind people that they're also leaders like this. Where it's recently versus Vico Soto. And I hope we'll get to know more of these people. Because let's not forget, Vico Soto, Rizal Rivera, may celebrity effect mo yan, taga Metro Manila yan. I'm sure there are more and more across the country. We just have to get to know more about them. And I hope mamamarakan sila in terms of making their mark in the national consciousness. Because kailangan malaman natin mga kababayan na there is an alternative Philippines. Na hindi yung self-righteous, cancel culture, pa-walk-walk, yung mga annoying na gano'n. Hindi. Really, progressive, conscientious, and dedicated leadership for the 21st century. Right? Hindi for the 14th, 12th century. Alright? On that note, thank you very much, guys. Maraming salamat. And please, sana tuloy-tuloy yung mga suporta nyo sa mga ginagawa natin lahat. All vloggers, all journalists, all young leaders, everyone who in their own little ways are trying to contribute to a better Philippines and a better world for all of us. Especially dun sa mga kababayan natin na walang sariling kakayahan or walang plataforma or walang boses para lumaban para sa kanilang mga karapatan. So this is the least we can do for these people. By amplifying the good voices, by supporting good leaders, by shedding light on good stories and inspiring stories. That's our little effort to make sure na in spite of the immense inequalities and difficulties and widespread poverty in our country, at least we're pushing the whole country in the better direction. On that note, mabuhay kayong lahat, mabuhay si Mayor Vico. Hindi ko alam dun sa isang mayor na lumaki sa farm. Tignan pa natin ang mangyayari dyan. Mabuhay si Riza, mabuhay si Sherwin, mabuhay lahat ng ating mga leaders who are doing the right thing. On that note, thank you very much. God bless. And talk to you soon. God willing, tomorrow guys at 9:30 p.m. naman. Kutob ko, ito may magdodoble kara naman bukas yan. Mag-RRM na naman tayo, or RNR at the very least. And I'm pushing also for an RRL. Alright, with si Leloy naman. By the way, thank you also dun sa mga nanood dun sa kakapost natin yung mga vlogs na ginawa ko nung nandun sa Berkeley pa tayo with Leloy. I stayed there for a week and I gave a talk and stuff. So may mga ginawa tayo nung, andun kami na non-political, including ito, talking about yung mga exercises ni Jose Rizal, di ba? Yung mga dumbbells yung mga ginagawa niya. Because the whole point there is to be a strong democracy, we also have to have a strong citizenry who take care of themselves, who take care of their health. Yan. Civic culture yan. And of course, ang konteksto din ito is, ito na, nagsimula ng mga celebration ng ating flag and also soon our national independence. God bless and talk to you soon.